the pressure is definitely really there during the Olympics. Like, that's literally the Olympics. So at such a young age, I really hope like going back to what Simone Biles was talking about mental health, I hope, they're mentally and physically well, because that's a lot of stress, definitely. Hi, everyone. I'm Angela.
Hey everyone, my name is Bryan.
Hi guys, my name is Katelyn, and this is EarthListening. And today our topic for our podcast is the Olympics 2021, and we're also going to be talking about relationships in high school.
Yep. So today we're doing something really different. We're mashing up two different topics because one, it's Tokyo 2020 Olympics, even though it's 2021. And also another thing is August 1st was National Girlfriend's Day. And all over Instagram, I can see just stories of everyone or boys just saying, Happy National GF Day, like posting their pictures with their girlfriends. So I'm like, why not? That sounds pretty interesting to talk about two completely different topics. But first, let's talk about the Olympics. So, okay, there's quite a few different highlights, but I would say number one, the first thing I want to talk about would be gymnastics with, I believe her name is pronounced Suni Lee. She won the women's artistic individual all around gymnastics gold medal. And she also won silver and bronze for other divisions. I believe that is what it's called. She apparently is the first of her ethnic group to win a gold medal. And of course, she is Asian. And in a time when there's a lot of Asian hate going on, it's great to see that there's like Asian representation and also success in the Olympics. But also another important thing was Simone Biles withdrew from the Olympics to protect her mental health due to setbacks.
Yeah, like the twisties, I think that was what it was called. I think she stumbled on 100 volts. Definitely something like I could see that's normal, because imagine waking up early and practicing hours and hours every day and messing up. It's definitely something that can deteriorate your mental health. So I'm glad she's taking her mental health break. Although this might be a huge problem for her, because she lives a reputation of probably our US's best gymnast, I guess. So definitely a little bad thing on side, but we have Suni Lee taking over. Yeah, that's good to hear.
Yep. But what do you guys think about it? Like, what are your overall reactions? Like, when you first found out, what were your reactions? How do you guys feel? What do you guys feel now? And all that.
Okay, so for me, I think that I was actually really happy and also kind of shocked as well when like Suni Lee became or like won like a gold medal, because she is a minority towards like the Asian community. And for me, I find it, I mean, like as an East and Southeast Asian person, I felt like really, I guess, kind of proud that someone from our community kind of just did something amazing, especially for the US. And learning about that news on social media and like Instagram, I was just pretty shocked.
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed, because I think like considering the fact that she came from an ethnic group, it really shows like what Angela said about like representation in the Asian community, especially at this time where there's a lot of Asian hate. At least we can show that, we're, I don't know how exactly to say it, but it's definitely something that opens a lot of people's eyes and perspective on the Asian community, especially when we don't get the reputation of being like gymnasts. We don't get the reputation of being like all around most athletic type or race. But it's still really impressive to hear that she won the artistic gymnast gold medal, which is something I think that will start her low journey, and hopefully we'll see her in the next Olympics.
I just want to like add on to what Bryan said, is that I kind of feel that she really like stereotypes on how like Asians are perceived as these individuals who are just always like, how do I call it, wanting to do really good in academics, and are always, I guess, perceived as quote unquote nerds or like geeks. but I think that she kind of broke it when she like won the gold medal, that we could also be athletic and also be really achieving towards our country.
Yeah, and then in regards to like Simone pulling out for mental and physical health, I think it's a very brave thing to do, to like having worked and trained for all those years and putting so much hours and grit into what she does, and having the courage to just step out and say, hey, I need to give myself more time to like reset and like, you know, all that stuff. I'm like, yes, prop to her. And also it's like, it's very nice to see someone like an icon as her really emphasize the importance of mental health with it, which is like something I feel like is often overlooked in many communities. So yeah, I think that's a really great role model in that aspect.
Yeah, I agree. Like after hearing that she's taking a mental break, I don't know, I feel like I have a really immense great amount of respect for her, because I feel like in the Olympics, especially with all athletes in every sport, your pressure to live up to your audiences or your fans like expectations, the fact that she's kind of living for herself and she's taking time to focus on her own health is actually really admirable, especially since a lot of athletes, they always struggle through like push through like pressure themselves because of their fans, because of, you know, their coaches. But this time I think she's really doing something that's not only helping herself but also help a lot of people like open up and give like a little insight that, you know, sometimes like performance isn't everything if your body isn't doing well, right? Or your mind isn't at the right place. So yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
But moving on to, besides gymnastics, another thing is about like just overall, just like Suni, she's only 18 years old. And then I also like, from watching YouTube videos, I've seen a lot of like young like Chinese divers, like for synchronized diving. I know that there was a 14-year-old girl. Well, she's not for synchronized, but she's like woman single diving. I don't know if that's the proper name of saying it, but she's only 14 years old. And I know for women's doubles diving, there was a 17-year-old and a 13-year-old. So these are very young people out there like achieving like world-class international competitions, you know, getting the gold medals. Whereas they're like the same age as us, and we definitely are completely living different lives than them. We're here in our home, you know, studying or like getting ready for senior year and all that stuff. So like, how do you guys think about just seeing your same age group people out there while we're like here? Is it salty or is it like admirable? Is it like very inspiring, you know, anything like that?
Me personally, I think like it really depends how you see it. I feel like sometimes when people are into a sport or they take a great passion or interest into a certain activity, it's not, you know, it's good that they're furthering their interests, right? They're taking it to another level, going to Olympics. That's a big deal. Me personally, I probably would never do that, because I was never the best at tennis when I was little. My coaches were like, oh, you know, you gotta, you know, flick your wrist, you gotta do certain things. And I wasn't the most athletic type growing up. So it's great to see that like people our age or people younger than us are kind of, they're living up to what they want and they're progressing, I guess. It's like you're not just stopping there. You have a dream about performing in Olympics and you're actually doing it. So that's something I'd say, if you like it, if you're into it, then you do you, kind of. Yeah.
For me, I know that some people might find it, like as Andrew quote unquote said, salty. Some people may think that they could have gone like a different route and wanted to aspire to be on like their level. But to me, I find it very admirable of them, because like Angela said, we are put in like different environments.
I definitely agree. Just watching them on like YouTube, I feel nothing but like pride, admiration, just like, yes, go do your thing and go kill it. Like honestly, I feel like they're definitely very like inspiring people to see how like age is literally just a number. Like they have the strength, they have the stamina, they have like the courage and bravery and the passion to just like go all out for their sport. And yeah, I think that's really amazing. But I do gotta say, like, I hope like, you know, the pressure is definitely really there during the Olympics. Like, you know, that's literally the Olympics. So at such a young age, I really hope like, you know, like going back to what Simone Biles was talking about, mental health, I hope, you know, they're mentally and physically well, because that's a lot of stress, definitely. Okay, I think we spent quite a few time, or not time. Yeah, we spent quite a few time. No, quite a, okay, whatever. We spent okay,
Quite
never
amount
mind.
of time.
Yes,
Quite
quite
amount
amount
of
of time. Yes, that was what I was trying to say. So why don't we jump now to our second topic, which is about relationships.
Yeah, this is a little bonus because of National Girlfriend's Day and all that. I wonder, is there a National Boyfriend's Day? That's actually that's kind of interesting. There is? Okay.
Yeah, there is. I don't know what day it is though.
Yeah.
Wait, why do I search it up? National Boyfriend Day 2021. Oh, it's October 3rd, 2021.
There you go. Okay, so really interesting. So as high schoolers, and also as witnesses, because we all go to the same school, I think dating, what are your guys' thoughts on like dating, especially among like people our age?
I'm going to put my thought out there. So just give you guys a bit background. For me, my parents do not allow me to date whatsoever because they think it is a distraction from, studying. I think that's pretty typical of like many parents, like, oh, you're gonna get distracted, your grades are gonna drop, all that stuff. I agree to a certain extent that dating does take up a lot of time and effort because, you're committing to a relationship, and relationships require time. But I do gotta say, just from, having that personal experience of going to high school and all that stuff, I think I definitely would want to say that when I become a parent and I have my own children, if I think my child is emotionally mature and mentally mature, then I would say I would be okay with my child dating, for the fact that like it gives them just an opportunity to grow as a person and emotionally continually grow. Because just from my personal experience, really learned that like being in a relationship gives you a lot of like insight about who you are as a person, what you are looking for in a potential partner in the future. And I don't expect for high school relationships to last, because realistically speaking, they don't. But I really believe that it gives you the foundation of what you want in the future, who you are, and also gives you hopefully an idea of what a healthy relationship looks like, or what a relationship you should avoid. And like once they're in college and away from like their parent, they'll like have more insight and guidance on how and what to look for in a partner.
For me, I also feel like my parents also don't want me to date in high school, for also the same reasons as you. Definitely because it could be distraction, and also they want me to kind of mature a bit before I can let another person into my life. And especially, I think that before a person really does get into a relationship, this is what I've kind of heard, like a quote unquote, you have to love yourself before you can love others. So it really doesn't make any sense if you want to put like the energy to love another person if you don't even want to love yourself. So I think that the way to go first is to just be independent first, see where that takes off. And if you are, like Andrew said, emotionally like stable, then I think that it would be a good to go to start a relationship in high school. But I really think that I know that during this generation, especially if you guys haven't heard, a lot of kids right now are definitely dating in middle school and elementary school, which is not the best choice to do. But yeah, that's just kind of what I think about it. So I would say grow as a person first, and then start loving other people.
I agree with all three, like both of you guys. For me, my parents are less traditional and more modern. So they allow dating, but I'm gonna say yes and no. They have a few exceptions, only and only if you can keep up with your grades, you can keep up with your activities, and you're not always distracted. I'm not saying I've dated anybody before or not, but my parents are pretty open because they think it's good to have some sort of like experience or get to like kind of dip your toe in the water, kind of understand like what the dating world is like. Although I do feel like, me personally, like I am with you guys. I think it's better to love yourself than to love other people, because I can't help but notice that like sometimes, or some of my friends, they date because they feel lonely and you're pressured by other friends, like, oh, you know, other guys have girlfriends, other girls have boyfriends, and so they want to hurry up and seek love like as like quick as possible just to be like them. I think like it's understandable where this pressure comes from, but it's also not very necessary, because like Angela said, like these relationships are not bound to last. Also, because you guys are students, your job is to kind of like maintain your homework, get good grades, and create a better future for yourself. It doesn't make sense to kind of like tip the scale towards like your boyfriend or relationship, and then, you know, leave like a tiny bit for your academics. So yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. But like dating obviously does happen, and, you know, attraction is natural. So it's something understandable and normal. It's just, me personally, like I wouldn't really ever try dating somebody or like really try getting into a relationship, because it's a little bit of trouble on my part and a little bit of trouble on my partner's part. So, you know.
Just kind of to talk about, I think that another thing that people don't really see is that people are kind of pressured into dating, if that makes sense. Like there's kind of like a, how should I say it? Like definitely on social media, if you're like single, people would say, oh, like they're not like attractive, or like they don't want to do that. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Kind of in a sense. Yeah, so I think that that's definitely like a problem with relationships like high school, that people are sometimes peer pressure to do it, and I do find that a bit of a problem. But I think it should be done on the person's part. Like if they decide if they want to date that person, then they should. But they shouldn't, then people shouldn't like force them to do it.
In addition, I feel like, look, for me, like the way I stop thinking about dating is, I would always picture like, if you and your love interest are to spend 1 week together, like in a house, you know, like would you guys be able to live with each other for an entire week? Because here's the thing about like, here's what I think about a relationship. Like, you only know the surface level of your partner, like the tip of the iceberg. You don't know what's underneath. You don't know what they do outside of school. You know what their life is like. So it's not like, oh, I like him, oh, we got along really well, we're together, we're like happy. You have to understand, like from an adult perspective, if you were to live together, if you guys were to like earn money together, you guys were to start like an actual life, how far would it go, right? Like you wouldn't obviously, as high schoolers, we obviously wouldn't understand, we don't have like jobs, we don't pay bills. But if you're really serious about a relationship and you're gonna take it to like a farther and longer period of commitment, it's going to take a lot of like deeper understanding and transparency between two people to really formulate like, oh, you know, what are you like? What are you actually like, you know? And like, can I get along with you, basically? Yeah.
All right, that's really long podcast, but it was a very exciting one because we matched up two very different dynamics of different topics, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And make sure to also support our jewelry fundraiser. We're selling nature-inspired jewelry created by Euphoria Purely, which is a student business. So go ahead and support her business as well as EarthLinking and what we do. And check out the jewelry fundraiser. You can see more information on our Instagram at EarthLinking Official. And yeah, that's it for today. See you guys next time. Bye. Thanks for listening. Check us out on Instagram at EarthLinking Official. Check out our website on Instagram located in the link in our bio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at EarthLinking Team. Donate to our GoFundMe located in the description box below. This is EarthListening. See you in the next episode.